Well, let's go ahead and get started. First of all, good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining Frog Street on a Friday afternoon to learn about our pre-K curriculum. So I'm excited you're here. My name is Kara Beers, and I am the Georgia representative for Frog Street. And on the call joining us is also Christy Cooley, and she is the vice president of East Sales for Frog Street, and she happens to also live in Atlanta. So I thought it was nice to have her join the call with us this afternoon. So I have put together a top 10 reasons why Frog Street would be good for you all. And that's kind of how we're going to go through the presentation. One thing I want you to be aware of is on the slides, every now and then you're going to see this box right here with the word GELDS. When you see that, I have actually added a GELD as it relates to what I'm talking about as it pertains to the pre-K curriculum. And so with that, we'll go ahead and get started. So number one reason to use Frog Street is that Frog Street is focused solely on early childhood education. We have curriculums for birth through pre-K, even have a summer program, everything leading up to kindergarten success, just like you guys, focused on kindergarten success and getting those children ready to be successful as they enter elementary school. Number two is Frog Street has a strong social and emotional support with conscious discipline. I'm sure you all know about conscious discipline or have at least heard of it. It's a social and emotional standalone program, good for infants and toddlers all the way up through high school. Frog Street is proud to have a strong partnership with conscious discipline. And so we integrate part of that instruction and put it in our teacher guides. It's the way that we start our day every single morning. And we call it the Brain Smart Start, as you see up here on the board. It has 4 parts. Basically, we are singing a song to wake up our brain and get excited about learning. We are going to focus on a breathing strategy to calm down ourselves and learn how to regulate our emotions. We're going to make a one-on-one connection with another peer to learn how to notice one another and practice empathy. And then we're going to commit. What can we do to make the classroom better overall? Becky Bailey up here on the screen has a quote that says, self-regulation is the key to school readiness and more powerful than IQ as a predictor of academic achievement. And I could not agree with her more. If children can't regulate their emotions, then the learning doesn't take place. But if we can help them learn how to regulate their emotions, then that's when the magic starts to happen. I'm going to show you this short video clip. Watch this little boy back here. His name's Jaime. He's going to try some breathing strategies because he's distressed. I show this video every chance I get. I love it. I think it's so powerful. He did not run to the teacher when he got upset. So he was learning how to regulate his own emotions. He did not bother any child around him, and no child around him even knew that he was upset. So I think that shows the power in teaching our children how to breathe and to regulate their emotions. Number 3 reason to use Frog Street, and I was going to save this for last, but it's too exciting, so I had to throw it in here at number 3, is our curriculum is completely aligned to the GELDS as well as the Head Start Early Learning Outcomes Framework. What does that mean for you and your teachers? Up on the screen here, I have a sample lesson plan. All of our lesson plans are by the week, and they come in Word format. This is Theme 2, My Family and Friends, Week 1, Families. We are essentially in the 5th week of school with this lesson plan. We have our Monday through Friday up here at the top. And then on the left-hand side, we have all of our activities. Highlighted in yellow are the GELDS that correlate to the activities. So we had this correlation done about 2 years ago, and I love to share it with my Georgia school districts and centers. This is the second page of the rest of the activities for the week with what the activity is and then the GELDS that correlate to those activities. In addition, we have completely spelled out the GELDS as a reference guide probably especially good for the newer teachers who don't quite have some of the number letter combinations memorized. Hope you guys are excited about that. Number 4 is intentional instruction every single day. And I love to show this 2-page spread. You all received a tour guide in your packets. And on pages 28 and 29, you have the same 2-page spread. You get this every single week. It's a really nice visual glance for your visual learners. I'm a very visual person, showing your Monday through Friday up at top with all of your activities for the day and the week on the left-hand side, starting with your greeting circle and ending with your closing circle. Our intentional instruction contains everything you need for the day, including daily whole group literacy instruction, daily small group literacy instruction, daily small group and math and science instruction, 2 read alouds every single day, moving and learning opportunities every single day because you know they can't sit long, daily content connections, which is going to be extra literacy, math, science instruction. It could also be social studies or fine arts. Practice centers for that child-centered time to explore and create and grow on their own. And don't forget our social and emotional support with the conscious discipline instruction. So everything that we need for the day. I love to show a sample schedule because it comes up about 90% of the time, just for you to begin to see how you would use this program with Fidelity. So we have time ranges for approximately how long the small group literacy lessons should take, for example, but we've also included transitions, breaks for rest and lunch and outdoor time, because we know there's a lot going on in the classroom throughout the day and a lot of transitions. Number 5 reason to use Frog Street is the morning message. I think this is something that Frog Street does extremely well. It is our daily whole group literacy instruction. It covers 3 things every single day: phonological awareness, concepts of print, and alphabet knowledge. Within the morning message, we do take a multi-letter approach. Based on research, we found that children learn their letters faster when they're introduced to more than 1 letter at a time. And so that's how Frog Street incorporates the letters. The morning message does follow a specific scope and literacy scope and sequence. So at the beginning of the year, we're focusing on listening and rhyme awareness and sentence segmentation. And by the end of the year, we're working on blending phonemes to get them ready for kindergarten success. Number 6 reason to use Frog Street is differentiated instruction. So as you are able to look at your tour guide, it's got a week's worth of instruction in it. You're going to find that we have call out boxes in yellow for our English language learners and call out boxes in light blue for special needs adaptations for those groups of children that need extra support and how can we help them. There's also going to be places where it'll say scaffold, and wherever you see that, that's going to be opportunities to move your children along who are ready for a challenge and just a little bit more the next step. The program also comes with a separate manual called Adaptations for Young Learners, which is just going to provide extra support for your children that need extra guidance and help. In addition, this program comes with several resource guides to help you. My favorite is Building Math Skills and Concepts. When you thumb through it, you've got your activities, and the activities are all differentiated in instruction. So there's different levels of instruction within these different resource guides. So just extra resources for the teachers. Number 7 reason to use Frog Street is intentional program components. All of the teacher guides and the materials come housed in 12 decorative boxes that kind of represent a community. So one box is the bank and another box is the library. Oftentimes I have teachers take everything out and put these boxes in a construction center or a building center so children can explore and create and play with them. I'm going to point out some of the components that come with the program, and you should have samples of most of these components. One is a strategy card, and there's 22 strategy cards that come with the program. extra support for the teachers on different topics. So everything from segmenting sentences and introducing and building vocabulary to rhyming words. So really good for teachers that are new, or just to try, just a new idea to try something a little bit different if one of your children is stuck and you've tried everything. Another component I like to always point out is our story folders. So when you open, everyone's got a different story folder. So when you open up that story folder, you have the entire story printed in English on one side and Spanish on the other side. And then there's some bright, gorgeous, oversized magnets that provide a visual for the story to keep your children engaged. These are also great for retelling. So after you've told the story to the whole group, in small groups, you could focus on retelling or sequencing or, adding a new character or a new ending and use the magnets as props. These are our photo activity cards, and you should all received one of these as well. These, you get about 100 in the program, and they're used in the instruction at length. So you get a full color photo on the front, and on the back, look at all of this you have for the teachers, things to talk about, things to do, American Sign Language for read with related vocabulary in English and Spanish. Everything in blue is what you would say to a child in Spanish. And this comes with the English version. These are also really great for, if you have a fire drill and you're off track and you have 6 minutes to lunch, you can pull out one of these and use it to fill the time. Or if it's a beautiful day and you need to get outside because everybody's antsy, you could take a couple of these out and try some outdoor learning. Compound word cards, you all received one of these. So you have a star and a fish on my screen, and then when you open it, you have a starfish. So I love the compound word cards. I've also have our alphabet letter cards displayed. They were intentionally created with more blank space towards the bottom, so little fingers know how to orient the cards, so we don't mix up our little B's and P's and Q's and D's. You also should have received some legs. These are bendable, really good for fine motor. You clasp them together and you can turn existing shapes. In this case, I have a star into new shapes, such as a quadrilateral. This is a snapshot of all of the components that come with the program. Lots and lots of books, over 50 of them. There's going to be fiction, nonfiction, poetry books, books with social studies connections, lots of books about animals. Fabulous, fabulous books. Number 8 reason to use Frog Street is the teacher portal. This is where you're going to find the digital versions of your teacher guides, all of the music, all of the books that you have in print are also available online if you have to have an at-home learning day, as well as your family connections. And in year 2, there's no renewal fee for the teacher portal. So I think that is a nice bonus. Number 9 is parent communication. We value parent partnerships. And so for every single month with a new theme, there's a new letter to go home to parents to explain what we're learning that month. There's also something called Parents or Teachers Too, PatMat, which is going to be activities that parents can do at home with their children related to the theme at hand. Number 10 is dedicated professional learning. So we have an entire team dedicated to professional learning. So in addition to curriculum and follow-up and curriculum implementation, in year 2 or year 3, when you're looking for a specific training on STEAM or math or reading comprehension, we have trainings built in for those. We can also customize trainings specific to Clayton County and your needs. Every year we have a conference called Splash. This past year we celebrated 30 years and had a big birthday bash with Fanny. Here's Fanny. She's the mascot for the pre-K program. Kids love her. And if you have room in your budget to attend this conference, I highly recommend it. It is dedicated to all things early childhood, and it is so much fun. And then last but not least, I wanted to share with you an exciting thing that I was able to put together just for Clayton County, and it's a trade title bundle. And so what we have here are 9 trade titles that I'm going to be able to add to each classroom For each curriculum purchased, you get a trade title bundle, and each of the 9 trade titles correlates to the themes. So for example, theme 1 is My School and Me. That's Here Are My Hands. And theme 9 is Changes. And that book would be Goodbye Autumn, Hello Winter. So I hope you're excited about that. You have local support with me. And I think we're about at 15 minutes. So I would like to stop and open it up to questions that you all have, anything that you wrote down that stood out or that you need clarification for what we went over.
Thank you, Kara. That was awesome. Did you have anything else that you wanted to kind of share before we start our questions?
I mean, I think the main thing is that was the main thing for me, is kind of in you and I talking about what was important for you all at Clayton County. I think I've incorporated all. If I haven't, then please just ask the questions.
All right, no, I'm good. Team, any questions?
Is there anything that you're excited about with what you've seen in Frog Street?
I love the connection to the conscious discipline, the social emotional learning part. I love that. I also love the story folders. Those are very good too.
Yes.
Those are 2 things that stick out, and the differentiation. Every time we have a presentation, I always look at the differentiated activities and choices that the teachers have options for.
Absolutely. Anything else that stood out that
Ms.
You liked?
Holston said the same here, and also the lesson plans. That was one, and Kara, we did speak about the lesson plan, so that was a plus for me. And new to the presentation, the conference and that opportunity for professional development was one of the highlights that I took away for today.
Wonderful.
Also from the special education team, the special needs adaptions, wonderful, great, love it. Especially in regards to it being easily accessible, readable for our special education teachers.
Wonderful.
Ms. Singleton, I'm just going to chime in really quickly, and that's huge. I have a background in diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. And when we talk about inclusion from a variety of different lenses, right, and the importance of not just for teachers to be able to adapt, but for students, when you look at some of the literature, to see themselves represented, right? So that whole notion of mirrors, windows, and sliding glass doors. I know we didn't talk a whole lot about that, but just know that that's something that we are committed to. When we put together our program, is making sure that representation is there beyond race and ethnicity, but also in terms of ability.
Yes, Ms. Cooley, thank you so much for that. And I actually did, the pre-K team has been awesome, especially Miss Chanel. She came and did a whole display of the Frog Street for us. So me and Miss Kirby actually had a chance to play around with it for about I think it was over for about 2 weeks, and we did find ourselves in there just about almost every day. So for us, it's great. It's wonderful, and I do love that, and we can definitely appreciate that from a special education perspective, which we find difficult when dealing with different curriculums. It's always, how can we adapt it to our students, our babies. So I love it. And I have shared that with Ms. Chanel numerous times. So the coordinators, have the final say so, but this was my number 1 choice. So I love it.
Thank you.
And I do believe that we discussed this, Chanel, on our end, but I just want to, if I missed this, my apologies. This does have a 3-year-old curriculum as well. Okay.
It does, yes. And I've been finding with some of my other school districts in Georgia recently, they've been adopting our 3s or our toddler program for the special needs classrooms as a good fit as well.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome. Is there anything that you see missing for what you're looking for in a program that's going to be a good fit for your classrooms and your children in Clayton County schools that we can address?
The only thing will be that STEM, the STEAM or STEM component. But I do know that you do have a program that does include STEM. However, it's just not approved for Bright from the Start just yet.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the way we handle science right now is there's this small group, math and science, and then within the content connection, that content connection lesson changes every day. Sometimes that will be extra science. Sometimes it's art, sometimes it's social studies. So that's how we're handling the science within this curriculum. Yes.
And let me just say, the beauty of a partnership is the ability to truly partner, right? I think what you all do, the population that you serve and what you all do is probably the most critical. And so I'm just going to put this out there. There are some things like our coding, right? Where we have that's some things that are part of our curriculum that's not included, that's not quite on the list, but we can pull some of those resources. And Kara, don't worry, I'll work to make this happen. But if you all choose to partner with Frog Street, there are some things that we can do to supplement, to pull in some of the technology and some of the science, to make it more robust in the areas where we might not be as strong. And that's one of the things I think is important when you have a partnership. When you guys highlight something, we're able to respond.
Absolutely, we could appreciate that. So is it any way possible that we could get a demo of the Coding Frog so that we can actually utilize that in the office and see if that's something that will work for our scholars in our classrooms?
Yes. I think the best thing is, you can borrow mine. I could loan them out.
Just send them one, Kara.
Okay.
Just send them one.
So I'll send you a frog and a mat, and then maybe we can, if you want, I can come show you like how he's
Yeah,
used.
we'll meet up and you show me how to use it, and I'll come back and show the team.
I would love that.
Yeah, how, what it is, because we're really moving in the direction of STEM, and we want to make sure that that's really high on our list of things that we're doing, as well as literacy. So those are the two huge components here that we want to make sure that we have those tools, because in adopting a new curriculum, we don't want to start out supplementing. So we want to make sure that it's all inclusive and that we're making the best choice for our teachers and scholars.
Okay.
All righty, thank you.
Okay. Other questions, concerns, likes?
Hey, I think that was all. Thank you so much, Kara, for your time. Thank you, Ms. Cooley, for your time as well. And for that, we're done. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.